appreciate its true qualities.
There'll be an extra fee for that. I'll think about
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
There'll be an extra fee for that. I'll think about it.
Exactly, but none of them believed me.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
I'll think about it.
Exactly, but none of
A
them.
blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times. Can appreciate its true qualities.
There'll be an...
A
Illusion shattered!
Whirling snow!
Courier?
Yeah, I was...
That's no excuse for...
You're Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you? Are you...
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relief.
Not at all!
You guys are...
Crystal!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back to...
Huh? No.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape.
We're sorry, but we...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to...
Hey, it wasn't just me.
I was also Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure...
Hey, there's...
These two. They sure are...
Oh, well, if you say so.
Traveler! Paimon, you're back!
Are you still doing alright?
We're fine, but what about you guys?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all of course, we must also...
How did Nervulette know that he was needed?
Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you could. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them and...
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare teeth...
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon!
Help.
Looks like you're recovering nicely.
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorant.
Whoa, how did she...
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the
You meant father? Did she...
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Father is very capable and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the night?
Looks like it, yeah?
Excellent.
For real? Then
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were... Well, next time.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
we wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still up?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds...
Miss Clorand has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshake?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for... Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners. Sure feels that. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like we've now gone to so many... There are so many bad things in the world, and you're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well! Paimon will... just our thoughts making... The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, Traveler! Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neurvalet are...
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, case...
Neuvillette! Sadine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our... This is completely unprecedented. How...
Thank you for your... Oh, apologies. I took your
So, what is it?
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired.
Huh?
I have no idea what... I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if...
Thank you for understanding. She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates that I'm...
Yes, under...
Judging from Sadine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to invest...
I cannot tell. There could be complicated conflicts of interest
Come on!
It is not my intention. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Iudex of Fontaine. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security.
They must have been amazing people!
Indeed. Unfortunately, the reform's death, the incident resulted in Carol taking her own life. And all Melusines I granted their many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back. Some of them, I have nothing against. It has already happened once.
Even so, there's the guards, the Maréchaussée fan...
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system, however, since I am
outside, but aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind, and even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between taking on the role of... I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not...
Yeah, let's team up and...
I will write my note of... Let us go. We should visit Kiara first.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels... Paimon's been thinking... But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water...
I never thought I'd see him here.
Does anyone...
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! Oh, I remember! You're the Traveler and...
Aww, she's adorable!
Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening...
A threatening letter? Oh, right! The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking...
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as a... Ah!
Did you think of something?
Nope. I don't...
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to
let's see.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor... We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, Kiara, you should come with us.
Sure! Wait...
But you are being watched right now. Going on...
And that's where we come in to help! We'll stay with Kiara, with us around...
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Oh.
All right. Let us go our separate ways.
We'll take her to a lost place right away! So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago! Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange. Paimon felt like some...
Pilaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler...
I thought so. What brings you here? All right.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course. Go ahead.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the
That was quick.
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melusines have special eyes, things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melusines can see their residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
All right. Now that you're... Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month, and wanted to hire you as my model.
Of course!
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should...
Seems like they get along, huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh!
Strange.
Gotcha! Charlotte? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent
Threat letter? This is Start.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret.
I see. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat
All right.
What? Someone's... It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her. I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed...
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvrelet's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Anyway, I'll...
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think?
I think it's great.
Huh.
Clorinde! What are you doing here? It seems that you...
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvrelet, technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such a trivial case. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Neuvrelet...
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvrelet.
Okay, then. Whoop.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into...
That is good to hear. I trust her.
We thought so too!
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara, and I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious...
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents?
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
Well, help you read through them. We have...
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free... Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't any... Oh, there's so many documents lying around.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made... If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases. The documents you see are just a small fraction of...
Whoa.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine. There are many documents here. Take a break if you... All right, let us take a break. Please pardon my lack of consideration. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps?
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Novelette likes to drink. He seems like the type... What's inside these glasses? It looks just like... What?
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old...
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice...
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated. I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure drinking water. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid. Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them.
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope.
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining your...
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our... Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages! If you're the Hydro Dragon... Sorry. Paimon was just...
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organized. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you...
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take. I lost many memories from the moment I was born. The primordial sea, for example. I can only vaguely recall its connection to me, but I am unaware of what that connection is exactly. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Tevat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very...
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long... But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have this. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself. By observing their behavior, perhaps I could
Have you made any progress?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare. Alas, time...
Are we gonna continue?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water a moment ago...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel... If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards... Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Huh. Why didn't...
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during...
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What? Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back.
A safe distance? Oh, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here. The court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée Phantom. I'm certain you'll become an indispensable part of Fontaine's detective force.
I know. Not only can I repay you for...
But a meaningful life.
It's definitely the safest to just... In truth, for almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers. That's why we wanted to...
I understand your confusion. I too came here for an answer to my questions about...
Really? Could you... The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head. And I...
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the barrier between one another. Removing it will be no easy feat. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into this society. Despite my social status, I am still an outsider.
Oh, I see. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our...
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Huh? Is he the person I met in the...
Yes? Do you have any
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried talking to him.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future, so please try.
Hello. Can I help with...
Thanks, but no.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol. A Melusine.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guard.
Please, calm down.
Hard.
Yeah, we should probably...
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway?
Exactly. That so-called
Go away!
I'm not leaving. We joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases. We've never done anything wrong.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you? So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melusines aren't involved in anything that occurred?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good...
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Maréchaussée Phantom, the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol has every right to subject you to interrogation. There have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand your concern. However, there's been no evidence pointing...
Even the captain of the security patrol is on.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah, I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that there are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society. Best if you give up before it's...
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time... I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I will...
Give them to me.
You're not...
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done...
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace. Oh, thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken one small step forward.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that...
You blockhead! Don't ruin the...
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. Any small incident could undermine the hard work you've put in. Please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got...
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully ours.
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out personally. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melazines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will be left with no excuse.
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand.
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in...
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime, whose interests have been undermined by the reform. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess to his mistake. The guards were stopped by the enraged...
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards. Miss Carroll might have thought there was no better plan.
That is indeed some...
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur...
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all information.
Restrict access to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was... She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor and tried lecturing her into giving up.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. Because I too began working towards that pie-in-the-sky dream of her. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillette. They even avoided causing trouble for me. They were after Carol all... Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind. Only through bloodshed can their dead...
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't...
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the group that framed his friend.
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out? Why?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Nervilette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin around. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Nervilette will be able to give Vautrin a reprieve. The benefits are endless.
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please think about it. If the same thing had happened to you... Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be seen as I understand your decision. Which is why I cannot help but feel regret and even grief about the judgment I must now impose. Personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted informal executions. Your actions have thus violated. Therefore, you will be declared...
What? That can't be! Monsieur Nervillette, please give this a little more thought. He has...
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. What is this? What justice means?
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vautrin. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale,
goodbye, monsieur.
This all happened because of Carol's naive
How can different species
Are you not feeling?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over, due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well.
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful than... Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over or anything.
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds odd.
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. As an outsider, having my mind occupied with which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not... It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two cases are much too similar. I felt like I needed to do something.
Paimon's starting to lose track of what you're doing. Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation. Paimon wants to help too.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulated However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. If I remember correctly, it seemed to be related to a smuggling case. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut to finding the organization that may be pulling the string.
Oh! Didn't we read about that in what—
You've read about it? In that case,
Huh? What are you doing here?
Navia! Nice to see you again!
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely asking around or anything.
Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the suspects among them.
Thank you. Where did you hear about?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, there will be countless eyes watching you. You talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information, then it was only a matter of time before word—
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long. But
You know, it could be because— Anyway, any progress with the
suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case. But it is still uncertain if there is in fact another party behind all this. We are planning to return to the Palais Marmonia to revisit some details and identify the senders of that.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their progress. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neverlet, do you think there'll be any problems now?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would dare to harm Kiara. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Melusines. I hope the same won't happen again. Let us head back.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the street so late? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating it.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusines?
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal—
That's exactly what I think about how much we—
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any suspicious persons, report them to the guards immediately.
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be—
Have you had dinner yet?
This isn't a good time to be out and about. Come on. Don't act tough.
You shouldn't ever skip meals.
I heard even Nervulet's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted.
Seriously?
Relax, I was just—
That's more like it. We should—
Come and fight me instead!
Have you heard? Even the special patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Is it the—
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So—
No, I should stay where I am. Let us stick to our plan. The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée Phantom. The list of involved suspects should be—
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of— Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who did not participate in the case will not stand trial. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All other personnel remain on our watch.
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Monsieur Neuvillette, someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rosula he said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only just...
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here.
Whoa. Check out all these...
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now...
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this.
But... Oh well. Let's get back to...
Yes, that...
You're Essa?
Yes, miss...
Did you write that threatening letter?
I did, but I was just...
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as...
You've done more than enough. I'm extremely grateful.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Dominique. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's...
A blade embraces its duty. As a jeweler...
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the...
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatened. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag.
He's got the same concerns we do.
I'm concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person.
That's an easy one. Let me think.
Did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened?
Zijween! Yeah, and we're...
Really? Is Ki...
There's no need to worry.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any thanks for the trouble.
Whoa! If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring it. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your step. There There's some pretty dark...
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink?
Paimon's not that...
Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up. I'll bring you some...
Typical Sejuin. Why aren't you two safe?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea.
Anything you need? Oh, this?
What's this?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor helping each other is our purpose.
Sounds like a pretty...
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, but people won't give us a heart.
Interested in joining the mutual aid? If you'd like to learn more, our slogan may have appeared. This book is...
You two look kind of... It's the symbol of the mutual aid network designed by our first From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never... All of us have a lot...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any?
According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was inspired.
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his...
All right. Let...
Allow me to introduce this. Why don't you explain everything to me?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your string?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that...
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Oh,
My initial target was Nervilette. Everyone in the fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection, so I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicion?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes.
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Nervilette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the...
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago?
More than 400...
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing...
Monsieur Nervilette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 people no longer. Right now, your every decision will...
Paimon gets it now. No wonder
I am undeserving of such high compliments. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. It is unnecessary.
There's no need to be so. You're no longer that outsider.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing...
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem, the less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please.
The first is about the guard.
I know. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I'm...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't... Those from up there... I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual...
Yep. Nervilette thought they're...
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal... In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Nervilette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say?
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude that... Well then, let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes, hey!
What I really think is every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what...
That is indeed... As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. These changes were not due to any specific... I will try to contemplate this further.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Maripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter
Yep, we found the person who sent that threat threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved.
By the way...
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked her to stay inside the Palais.
Whatever.
Well, now it looks like the dust has to celebrate this joyous occasion.
That's not how you...
I will consider it. Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my...
Yes!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation. I hope it will assuage the concern. Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter.
Sorry. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
Do you
Thank
remember
Monsieur.
Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? In my dream, she looked really happy. She held... I can't remember what her...
I can sense your joy. It is...
Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed... I promised to model for Alov.
Of course.
See you next time, Miss...
See you next time.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here. Ad Astra. Ad Astra. Blade embraces its due.
as a jeweler cherishes their...